This is the brand new Suunto Run, and it's Suunto's latest addition to their sport watch lineup, fitting right below the Suunto Race S, which was released later last year. This watch is designed with two main goals in mind. First, to be affordable, and second, mainly designed as a running watch. However, it can do a lot more than that. This watch features an AMOLED touch-enabled display, a lightweight build, and even has dual-band GPS for increased accuracy. But what is really interesting about this watch is that it's the first Suunto sport watch to support offline music storage. I've been wearing the new Suunto Run for about a week now, so this is not an overly in-depth review. With that said, I have learned a lot about this watch in that short period of time that I want to share with you today. We'll walk through all of the new features and specs, and of course look at things like my experience with the battery life, the heart rate accuracy, and GPS accuracy. But before we get there, let's start at the beginning, the price. This watch is one of Suunto's more affordable sport watches, coming in at $249 here in the USA. At the time of launch, the Suunto Run will be available in 4 different colors. That's going to include this awesome lime green color I have here, which I'm a real sucker for, as you can tell. But on top of that, there's also a gray color, a black color, and a coral orange color, which also looks pretty interesting. Let's jump right into the hardware on the new Suunto Run. As you can see here, this watch is mainly made out of plastic, but does feature a stainless steel bezel. This watch only weighs 35 grams, including the nylon band that comes in the box, which is very light and it's very comfortable. I found myself not minding wearing this to bed throughout the day. You barely notice it's there. And for a quick size comparison, I've got some other Suunto products that I can show you to compare to. And as you can see, I've got the Suunto Vertical all the way on the left here, their flagship model. We've got the Suunto Race S here, which is their more affordable flagship model. We've got the Suunto Race all the way on the right here, and we've got the new Suunto Run here in the middle. And as you can see, it's actually pretty similar in size to the Suunto Race S. And of course, the Suunto Run is waterproof or water resistant to 5 atmospheres, so you can go swimming with this. There are swimming activities on board. You can shower with it, you can run in the rain, you don't have to worry about any of that. Taking a closer look at the hardware, the Suunto Run does have the standard 3-button layout on the side here, and it's the same layout you'll find on most of their products. So you've got a top button, a bottom button, and a digital crown or scroll wheel in the middle that also serves as a button. Internally, the Suunto Run has a plethora of sensors. Of course, you've got GPS built in and the heart rate sensor. We'll talk more on that in a minute. But on top of that, there is a compass on board and a barometric altimeter, which is nice to see. And as for the design and aesthetics of this watch, I actually really do like the look of it. It's really modern looking. The branding is pretty minimal. Flipping the watch over, you're going to notice a couple of things. First of all, the built-in optical heart rate sensor that does have SpO2 sensing on board. And this is a very similar sensor that we've seen on previous models like the Suunto Race S here on the right. However, when I spoke to Suunto about this, they did mention that the heart rate sensor was updated to have a different optical lens over the top of it that is supposed to apply more even pressure on your skin that should lead to slightly better accuracy. And we'll look at that later in this video. Other than that enhanced heart rate sensor, you're going to notice another difference compared to the Suunto Race S on the right here, and that is the charging contacts. They've been changed. Where on the Suunto Race S, you had these 2 little metallic bumps on the back with a magnetic puck that would go on there to charge it. The Suunto Run here does have 4 metallic contacts around the perimeter of the watch on the back, and that is to make made up to the new charging brick that is included in the box. This is magnetic, it simply goes on the back like that, and you're charging the watch. Now let's talk about the included band with the Suunto Run. This is a really, really nice band. It is a nylon band or synthetic sort of material, woven material, and it does have a Velcro closure to it. There's a small, medium size, and then there's the large, extra large size here. Now I've been wearing the small, medium size because my wrists are about 165 millimeters in circumference. And if you're curious what it looks like on my wrist, that's what it looks like on my wrist. It's really easy to get on and off, and it's a really comfortable band with a little aluminum accent on the back where it closes. One thing to note with this band though is that it does absorb moisture. So if you are swimming with it, or you shower with it, or you're running in the rain, or just very sweaty, it will collect some of that moisture, and it does take a little bit of time to dry out. The Suunto Run is compatible with quick fit bands though. You simply pop off the band that's included with your fingernail there, and you can swap this out for any silicone band that you'll find on Amazon or even direct from Suunto. Jumping back to the front of the watch here, I want to talk about the display. The Suunto Run includes a 1.32-inch touch-enabled AMOLED display, and it's a really nice display, high resolution, very vibrant, very bright, all the things you would come to expect from a nice AMOLED display. When it comes to the overall brightness on the Suunto Run, it does have a peak brightness of 600 nits, which is a little bit lower than some of the competition. Typically, you're going to see like 1,000 nits of brightness or 1,500 nits of brightness. Here we have 600. It's not a big deal, but I have found in some lighting conditions, like in direct blaring sunlight, it can be a little bit of a challenge to see the data on the display. However, if you do angle your wrist a little bit or find a little bit of shade, it is pretty easy to see what's going on, and I've really had no issues with it, but it is something I thought was worth mentioning. Hey there, quick interruption. If you're enjoying this video so far or finding some value in it, I'd really appreciate it if you went down and gave me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel down below so you don't miss more videos from me in the future. And then after that, also check out the links in the description down below where you can purchase your Suunto Run. Those are affiliate links. They do help support this channel and what I'm doing here, so you might as well use them. Okay, back to the video. Now let's talk about the user interface on the Suunto Run. This is very similar to Suunto's other products like the Vertical, the Race, or the Race S, where it's this sort of vertical scrolling kind of design where you can see all of your data at a glance. You can select certain widgets that you can pin to the home screen here, like I have my heart rate and my steps for the day, my sleep, my recovery, my media player, more on that in a minute, and my weather widget, but I can go ahead and click on all apps, and that will bring you into all of the other apps that are available, like my training volume, my progress, my recovery, my logbook for previous activities, and more. And of course, the Suunto Run does come with Suunto's outdoor tools. That's kind of what they're known for. You've got your sun and moon phases, your compass, your altimeter barometer widget, and navigation. Below that, we get our general wellness information. Steps, calories, heart rate, blood oxygen levels, my sleep data, and if I scroll down, I'll even get things like my resting heart rate, my HRV, and my sleep phases throughout the night. Within the general wellness settings, there's also a new app for breath work if you want to sort of take a break. If you dive into this will go through a breathing activity to help relax you, to take on the day ahead. I should probably do that. And then down below that, you've got all of your general smartwatch features like your weather widget here, which I find to be very nice and very useful. You've got an hourly forecast, and if you scroll down, you can even get a forecast for the days ahead, along with your air quality index. Within the menu here, you also find a flashlight, so that will boost up the brightness of the display and turn it white, so you can navigate a dark room in a pinch. Jumping back to the health and wellness data on the Suunto Run, there is one thing missing that I noticed compared to their higher end models, like the Suunto Race, Vertical, and Race S, and that is the availability of Suunto's Body Resources feature. And when I asked Suunto about this, they sort of stated that they swapped out Body Resources for their Recovery Index, which is available on this watch, and sort of does the same thing. The Recovery Index will give you an idea on how recovered you are from your previous activities and how ready you are to take on more training. Okay, now let's talk about music and that media player I just showed you. As you can see here, I've got the media player on board the Suunto Run, and if I dive into that, you're going to see a little playlist that I built for the purpose of this video. Now, this is downloaded to the storage of the watch, and there is 4 gigabytes available within the storage of the watch for music and all of your other data, whether that be like a imported navigation route. 4 gigabytes of storage isn't a lot, but it is plenty for a bunch of MP3s if you want to listen to music on the run and leave your phone behind. To do this, you simply load music on the watch. You can upload it from your phone to the watch, and then you can play it back phone free. And when I go to hit play, you're going to see that it wants me to pair some earbuds to the watch so I can actually listen to the music. And if I hit connect, it's going to bring me to my pair devices menu, and then it will be searching for nearby Bluetooth devices. And from the media player on the Suunto Run, you can also scroll up and you can bring up your controls to skip forward a track, back a track, play, pause. You can control the volume of the music going to your earbuds, and you can change your play modes from repeat to shuffle, etc. Now, when it comes to music on the Suunto Run, it is a little bit limited at the time of filming this video because, as I've mentioned, it only supports MP3 files. There's currently no way to sync third-party music like Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, podcasts, or anything like that to the watch, which is kind of unfortunate because I think these days most people are using a streaming platform and not relying on MP3 files, though I'm sure there's plenty of you out there. Moving right along into activity profiles. So from the home screen here, if I click click the digital crown on the right here, that'll bring me right into my activity profiles menu. And as you can see, I've got a couple of favorites up top, like running and cycling. But if I scroll down, I also get access to a bunch more activities. We've got track running, marathon running, trail running, treadmill, walking, hiking, trekking, mountaineering, climbing, triathlon, orienteering, cross training, indoor cycling, mountain biking, pool swimming, open water swimming, jump rope, indoor rowing, cross trainer, aerobics, weight training, circuit training, stretching, boxing, yoga, Pilates, cross-country skiing, alpine skiing, snowboarding, tennis, badminton, outdoor training, and indoor training. Wow, can't believe I got through that. So yes, there's 34 activity profiles available on the Suunto Run, with a heavy focus on running activities, as you just saw. And as a little side note, when you do a running activity with the Suunto Run, it will also collect running power from your wrist with no extra accessory required, like a foot pod or anything like that. Now let's talk about external sensors on the Suunto Run, like external heart rate sensors or running pods, things like that. If I go into connectivity and scroll down to pair devices, you're going to see the options here. We've got headphones, which we've already talked about. We've got heart rate sensor and foot pod. So as you can see, the Suunto Run is limited on what sensors you can pair to this watch. There is no cycling power meter option here. You can only pair a heart rate sensor or a foot pod, and I do believe they have to be Bluetooth to be compatible with this watch. And this sort of goes back to what I said before, where this watch is a heavy emphasis on runners out there, so it is lacking some of those cycling features. Next up, let's talk navigation on the Suunto Run. This watch does feature breadcrumb navigation, and what that means is it's sort of like a little squiggly line telling you where you want to go and a breadcrumb trail telling you where you've been, which is very useful, but it is important to note that the Suunto Run does not support offline maps like you'd find on the Suunto Race, the Race S, and the Vertical. That breadcrumb navigation is still very powerful though, and combined with the Suunto app where you can design a course on the fly, you can sort of pan around a map and choose different locations that you want to navigate between. It is a good combination and provides a lot of context of your surroundings when you are trail running or hiking or anything like that. With navigation out of the way, that's a good segue into the next topic, GPS modes and accuracy. As mentioned at the beginning of this video, the Suunto Run is a dual band GNSS device, which is sort of like the gold standard these days when it comes to sport watches. That dual band feature means it can set its position using multiple satellite systems simultaneously over two different bands rather than just a single band, which should give you better accuracy. As for GPS accuracy on the Suunto Run, I've done a bunch of runs with this watch so far, and I can say the GPS accuracy on this watch is quite good, and that's really no surprise because as I've tested the Suunto Race, the Race S, the Vertical, all of those watches had exceptional GPS accuracy, and that's no different here on the Suunto Run as well. As I've mentioned, I've only had the watch for like a week, and I will continue to test it, but what about heart rate accuracy from that slightly updated heart rate sensor on the back of the Suunto Run? The good news is I've had pretty good luck here as well, and that's good to see because in previous years, like on the Vertical and the Race, the heart rate accuracy wasn't like bang on. It got much better with the Suunto Race S here, and now again, they've improved the sensor slightly to be even more accurate. So again, I've taken this watch on a bunch of different runs, and during those runs, I also wore an ECG or an electrocardiogram chest sensor that should be more accurate in what I use typically as a baseline of comparison. And as you can see, the Suunto Run lined up pretty closely with that ECG sensor with only some minor deviations here and there within a couple of beats per minute. It really didn't have any major drops or spikes or anything like that. And it seems like Suunto has finally come to a place where they figured out their heart rate sensor design and algorithm. So again, just like GPS accuracy, no complaints here so far in testing this. The heart rate accuracy with my skin and all the variables I have looks pretty good. Now that we've talked about GPS and heart rate accuracy, that's a good segue into the battery life on the Suunto Run because they sort of go hand in hand. The battery life on the Suunto Run is pretty decent for this price category. You can expect up to 12 days in smartwatch mode, checking your phone's notifications and things, and up to 8 days in typical use with regular GPS activity. But what about battery life in a GPS activity? Now on the spec sheet, they claim in performance mode with the highest accuracy for GPS using that dual band feature, you'll get up to 20 hours of use in a single activity with this watch. And as mentioned before, if you do need longer battery life than that for an ultra marathon, for example, you can switch into endurance mode or power saving mode. In endurance mode will give you 30 hours of use. power saving mode will get you 40 hours of use in a pinch. Now when it comes to battery life and a GPS activity, in my real life experience, I did take the Suunto Run out on an 11-mile run that took me about an hour and a half to complete. And after recording that run and analyzing the data, I lost about 4.8% of battery per hour, which lines up pretty nicely with that claimed 20 hours of battery life in performance mode. And that brings us to the final segment of this video where I want to talk final thoughts and conclusions about the new Suunto Run and what I think about it so far. I think Suunto did a great job with this watch. At $249, it does offer a lot, including exceptional GPS and heart rate accuracy, along with all the health and training metrics you'd likely ever need. It's an attractive looking watch too, particularly in this lime green color, which I really like, in my opinion, of course. And its form factor is super comfortable and lightweight. There's really only a few downsides to this watch, likely because it's in that budget category. First, it doesn't have maps, only breadcrumb navigation. It's got limited external sensor support, so if you're a cyclist, that might be a big deal to you. And lastly, the display is bright, but just not super bright. It's acceptable. With that said, if you're a runner at this price point, most of those issues you could probably look past if you're a fan of Suunto watches. At $249 though, the Suunto Run does have a lot of competition against it though. We've got the COROS Pace 3 at $229, albeit with a duller MIP display, no maps, no music storage. Then there's the COROS Pace Pro, which I think is the most similar watch to the Suunto Run here. However, the Pace Pro is $349. It's $100 more than the Suunto Run. It does come with a brighter AMOLED display at 1500 nits, much longer battery life, offline maps, though you are $100 more than this watch. And if you're looking at watches at that $350 price point, you can also look at the Suunto Race S here, which I'm a big fan of. It's $349 and it's pretty similar to the Suunto Run, though it does come with maps. And finally, I couldn't end this video without talking about the Garmin Forerunner 165, because that watch comes in at the same price at $249. It does have a brighter AMOLED display, more smartwatch features like Spotify music integration and NFC payment support, along with third-party apps from the Connect IQ store, which can be kind of useful. It also has more health metrics like body battery, but it does lack dual-band GPS and does have a smaller display. At the end of the day, I think if you're a fan of Suunto or you've just been looking for a full-featured, budget-friendly running watch that doesn't break the bank, and you've been eyeballing something like the Suunto Race S here, but you couldn't stomach the price tag of it, this is going to be a great option for you. I've really enjoyed my time with the Suunto Run. It's very comfortable, it's full featured, it's got everything you probably need if you're getting into running or you're a more advanced athlete, and I think it makes a great addition to their lineup, having a more affordable option, fleshing out the lineup. Now you've got the Suunto Run, the Race S, the Race, and the Vertical. And ultimately, having options in the lineup in different price points is a good thing for you, the consumer. Now, that's just my opinion, and I'm just some guy here on YouTube. So I want to hear from you in the comments down below. Drop down, let me know what you think of the new Suunto Run. Are you going to run out and buy one? Pun intended there. Are you going to hold off on it? Is there a different watch you think is a better fit at this price point? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, after you're done commenting down there, make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel down below so you don't miss more videos from me in the future. And then check out all of the links in the description down below where you will find links over to the Suunto Run and all of the other watches I talked about in this video. Those are affiliate links. They do help support this channel, but they cost nothing extra to use, so you might as well use them. And after you're done shopping, also check out the links to all of my other social media profiles, my Instagram, my Strava, my Threads account, and my merch store over at ChaseToSummit.com, where you can pick up a sweet shirt like this. Look at the back. That's pretty cool, right? All right, friends, that's all I've got for this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you found some value in it, and I'll see you in the next one, okay? Bye. Get my line, I get ready. Feel it too trippy, get it cracking like a levy. I'ma show 'em all how to